A blow to unions, a victory for Walker. A federal appeals court gives a thumbs up to Act 10.
That's the controversial law that stripped away collective bargaining for public employees. Our Jenna Sachs live at the federal courthouse in Milwaukee getting reaction to the big story. Jenna.
You may remember that last year a federal judge in Madison struck down parts of Act 10 as unconstitutional. Today's ruling by the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals in Chicago is a reversal of that and upholds Act 10 in its entirety. Republican supporters are of course celebrating today. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen released a statement saying in part that this ruling confirms what he has stated from the beginning, that Act 10 is constitutional. On the other side, Senate Democratic leader Chris Larson sent out a statement calling the ruling an immense setback for Wisconsin's middle-class families and a sad deterioration of our Wisconsin values. Governor Walker also responding today in Oshkosh. He called the ruling a win for state taxpayers.
I've said all along that I was confident that the reforms we enacted that empower schools, local governments, and state government to put the power back in the hands of the taxpayers would ultimately be proven to be constitutional. We now have a federal court ruling that's validated that comment on my behalf.
Well, I think it's a real step backwards for Wisconsin. Act 10 was a bill that never had anything to do with balancing budgets. It had everything to do with punishing political enemies. The judge, even in upholding the law, mentioned that fact.
And again, this is an issue that sparked massive protests in Madison about 2 years ago and led to the eventual recall elections. And you may be wondering, is this the final word on Act 10? Our political expert says probably not. It's probably headed to the state Supreme Court or even the U.S. Supreme Court. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Jenna Sachs, Fox 6 News.
I'm sure we have not heard the last of it. Thank you, Jenna.
And no shortage